Hello, hello everyone. Sorry for the delay. I had one of those days, those weeks where a few adult drinks were needed, so I went to a local bar, of course, and had some adult drinks. And I decided that, okay, well, you know what, let me push off tonight's book review. Oh, I just realized that I'm struggle streaming already. Thought I had unmuted myself, but in any event, thank you guys for being here. Hello, hello, knowledge and relationship. Darn it, you caught me! You caught me on one of my lives. Gosh darn it. I thought I had planned this wonderfully perfectly that you would not be here, but no, I kid, I kid. I'm so happy that you're here, whether it's for a few minutes or for the entire live. I'm absolutely appreciative. Knowledge and relationship. I'm very happy to have you here. So, as I was saying, while not realizing I was mute, I was saying that basically this live was supposed to be at 8:30 today, but I did decide to have a few adult drinks. It was one of those days, one of those weeks where, yeah, I kind of needed some adult drinks and really needed to escape reality for a few moments. So, yeah, I had a few adult drinks and also some food. I had some a hamburger and some fries, and all needed for sure, for sure. Anyways, I'm glad that you guys are here for my book review. I'm going to talk fairly briefly because I do admit that I am tired. This is my second week at a new job where basically the two jobs combined, I'm working full time, and this might be like, well, you know, what are you complaining? It's 40 hours. I do 40. It's been over 2.5 years since I have not worked full time. So for me, it's really getting accustomed to working full time that I'm complaining about. But it's a minor complaint, and I do realize that look, there's a lot worse issues, a lot worse problems to have than having two part-time jobs. Yes, I do have a PayPal. Thank you, Knowledge and Relationship, for acknowledging it. No obligations for donations. I appreciate whether you send me 10 cents, $10, $1 million, $100 trillion. I'm appreciative of any donations that you're willing and able to give. Thank you very much in advance, whether you give me here and now or you don't, or you just put that in the vibes, in the streams. I'm absolutely fine. But of course, for all of you who cannot financially donate, whether you're just spending some time supporting me, commenting on my videos, watching me and not saying anything, I'm appreciative of any support anyone and everyone is willing and able to give me. Because look, I understand from firsthand experience what it's like not to have money for anything and everything that you want to be able to. God knows right now I've gotten a few surprise bills where it's like, oh, I was not expecting this at all. And it just feels like there's way more money coming out of my pockets than coming into my pockets. So, if you're not able to support me financially, no worries. Yeah, no worries, knowledge and pay. Don't worry, knowledge and relationships. Look, whatever you're able to. And again, I have no expectations of payment, whether you're able to pay me $1, $100, a million. I'm always grateful for whatever support you can give me. And even if your support is just simply being here and chatting it up or watching my videos, either in the live or on replay, I'm absolutely good with that. Don't worry, no pressure. I'm always grateful for financial support. God knows I need it right now, but I'm not out here begging for it either. I realize, like I said, from firsthand experience, what it's like to struggle. I've had a good life overall. I'm not complaining. But I also know, like I said, what it feels like to live paycheck to paycheck. So I know that money is tight for a lot of us here. I know for most of us in the land of YouTube, most of us are not multimillionaires. Most of us are not the next Jeff Bezos or the next before the I was gonna say before the billions, but not quite true. Although I don't think he's poor, most of us are not the next multi-trillionaires here. So don't worry if you can't send me anything right here, right now. Don't worry about it. Like I said, I don't expect you to be sending me $1 million here. It'd be nice. It'd be nice, but I know that most of my audience are like me, where the most we can give you is a few hours of our time. We can send you some attention, and that is absolutely fine with me because, look, those watch hours, they're going to be my downfall. I like I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Coming out here, putting my daily grind, and really trying to go out there and put some new content. But boy, my watch hours do not want to move. So if all you could do for me tonight or tomorrow or whenever is give me 5 hours of your time, if that's what you can do for me, I'm absolutely grateful for it. But anyways, without any further ado, I'm going to obviously talk about the subject for tonight, which is my book review. So as most of you who are my regulars know, Friday night is my book review night. Saturday morning is my movie review. And of course, Sunday is uh, part one of three, where I quietly read the book, a book. Right now, I'm reading Game of Thrones, half an hour a day, Sunday morning, Tuesday mornings, and Thursday nights for half an hour. Monday night, I of course have my French lessons. Tuesday night is when I have my talks about art in general, whether it's about a particular artist or art in general, etc. Right? So that's my overall game plan. And of course, tonight, like I said, is my book review. So I will be talking, of course, like the title of the description says, and I'll go fairly briefly. Is about, of course, Jurassic Park. Woo! Now, of course, I'm a big fan of both the movie and the book, but tonight we'll strictly talk about my personal opinions about the book. Now, I'm not going to go into fairly big, summary of the book. At this point, the book and the movie have both been out for quite some time, so I assume that most of you at this point uh, like if you haven't read the book and or seen the movie, I mean, there's not much I can say or do about that. But hopefully you have read the book and seen the movie and know about what I'm talking about. Now, of course, like I said, I'm not going to go into big details, so there's not going to be a whole lot of scene reveals and all plot reveals. And oh my god, I told you the whole movie or the whole book plot line. I'm just giving you guys my thoughts and my ideas about the book. And I will be talking about the movie later on, but not tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I decided to talk about the sequel to Pitch Black, which is the Chronicles of Riddick. So the movie versus the book Jurassic Park will be a later episode of my movie review. Okay, so tonight I'm strictly talking about the book. In particular, like I said, my thoughts about the book. And again, I'm not out here trying to tell you, you have to read the book or else. I'm really just giving my personal thoughts and my personal memories of the book because I do admit that it's been a while since I've read the book. So of course, there's some details of it that are relatively, foggy or a bit hazy from when I actually read it. Um, so yeah. So without any further delay, and let me know, guys, if the music in the background is too loud. I doubt that it is. I know that from previous lives that I've done, that the level that I have it at now is pretty good. At least I think it is. So, but let me know, guys, if the music is too loud, not loud enough, whatever the case might be. All right, so let's get into the book review. So I'm not going to go into, like I said, explaining the whole plot at this point. I assume that you guys have read the book and or seen the movie. Um, so I'm not going to go into big details. Now, of course, I will give a basic summary of the book. So essentially, it follows three main characters, one of which is Hammond, Dr. Hammond, who is essentially in charge of um, a park, Jurassic Park, obviously, um, where he creates a world where, of course, dinosaurs actually exist, right? So in his world, he uses DNA, and in both the book and the movie, the DNA comes from fossilized essentially. I'm not scientific here. I'm not the girl of science, and like I have my degree and a PhD in molecular this and biology that. No, that's not my world. But they essentially use fossilized insects to recreate dinosaurs of bygone eras, right? So that's basically true for both the books and the movie. There are a certain amount of, scene differences and characters that are in the book but are not in the movie, etc. Right? So I'm not surprised with that. But Hammond is either way in charge of the organization, the company that takes care of uh, creating the dinosaurs, right? And excuse me, of really trying to get all the necessary materials, whether it's the dinosaurs themselves, the park equipment, whatever the case might be, right? He's the head honcho trying to get everything together so that way the park, i.e., the dinosaurs, are raking in the big bucks, right? For him, the dinosaurs are merely park attractions, just like a Ferris wheel or, I don't know, a water ride or whatever the case might be, right? They're just rides, they're just attractions, there's just a reason for people to come in and view the park, right? Now, obviously, dinosaurs are a novelty idea because obviously, both in the book and in the movies, dinosaurs, of course, are animals that have been extinct for years and years and years and years and years, right? These are not animals that are everyday animals, right? They're not. We're not talking about cats and dogs or dinos that maybe died out 100 years ago or 200 years ago, where at the very least, modern man, quote unquote, has had some kind of contact with them, right? Dinosaurs have been long since extinct, right? But Ammon uses these animals as a resource, as a way to sort of, um, I guess, continue his wealth, right? I guess when you're so wealthy, you might get bored. You might not have things that are challenging for you. And you kind of get that idea both in the book and in the movie, that Hammond, as good intent as he might have, of course, in the movie, we all know that famous line, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. But with Hammond, because you can do something, you should do it, right? Because you can create the dinosaurs, you should create. So while everybody else is like, yeah, no, let's just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Let's take a moment to think about it. And of course, Hammond does not. Now, of course, in the movies and in the book, you have two other characters that come into play. And let me just, I think it's Dr. Sadler and not Hammond. Of course, it's been like a while since I've seen the movies and read the book, guys. So, of course, I don't remember all the names of everybody. But I know that there's, of course, oh yeah, Dr. Grant and Dr. Sadler. Those are the two uh, paleontologists, essentially, that take care of um, researching long gone, dinosaurs and dinosaur plants, because I believe Dr. Sattler takes care of the plants more in movies, and Dr. Grant, sorry, is the one that takes care of the actual dinosaurs. Now, in the book, they're both paleontologists, so there's no real difference per se between one doctor and the other. Okay, in the book, it's really look, you're both of equal caliber. You're both very intelligent individuals. Now, I won't go into great detail as the difference between the book versus the movie, but in the book, that whole quote unquote um, supposed or alleged potential love affair between the two doctors is really non-existent in the book. In the book, these two are mentor and mentee, right? Dr. Grant really is about teaching Dr. Sadler the ropes of paleontology and making sure that when she is going to have her doctorate degree, that she's starting off that career on the right path. So there's no hanky panky, there's no potential. Oh well, maybe in a year from now you might be more mature or whatever. No, it's all business, it's all academics between the two of them, right? Um, so that's kind of what I like about the book. And I know I'm kind of going back and forth with what I'm talking about. Like I said, I assume that most of you read the book and or saw the movie, which is why I'm not going into great detail as to explaining the plot line of the book, right, or the movie. Both of them have been out long enough that if at this point you haven't read the book and or haven't seen the movie, well, there's not much I can do here. Okay, guys? So please forgive me if I'm not going into great detail with explaining the book or the movie to you guys. Okay? But that's kind of what I like about the book in particular. And I kind of was disappointed. And I get for most TV shows when you have a male protagonist and a female protagonist, they have to hook up when it comes to Hollywood, right? They have to have some kind of love affair. And of course, the man knew right away that he was in love with the girl, but the girl was, of course, the one that's a little bit more hesitant, a little bit more. In the book, there's none of that, right? They're both out here really trying to further their career and helping each other do that, right? So there's no backstabbing, there's no like quote unquote sexual anxiety, right? In all events, everybody involved is really there to like, they all want to learn, right? Because we tend to forget when we hear, oh, he's or she's a doctor of this. We all think these are hoity-toity individuals that are high and above the rest of us. In the book, And that's what I do like about the movie as well, is that you do get the impression that these two doctors are really, they're there to research, they're there to learn, and even if maybe you come and present them with an idea that might be wrong, they're willing to investigate that idea, they're willing to look into it, and if they find out that you're wrong, there's nothing personal about it. It's okay, you were wrong. Here's why we think you were wrong. Here's the proof, and then just move on from that. Uh, there's no sense of competition. There's no sense of, well, now that I've proven that I'm right, you must do. No, it's like, look, it's okay to be wrong sometimes. It's okay to have an idea or thought about something, and after doing your research, you realize, oh, that's okay. That's not quite what I thought, or the outcome is somehow different from what I thought, and that's okay. It doesn't make you less of a person. It just means that okay, you learned that you were right, that you were wrong. Okay, let's move on from that. Let's get into something else, right? It's okay to be wrong and still have your beliefs. Both are plausible. Okay? So that's basically, like I said, one of the different elements that I like about the movie. It's really that sense of um, it's okay to, have ideas and have thoughts that aren't, excuse me, one of those tired nights, that are different from everybody. While also realizing that, hey, look, it's my ideas aren't perfect, they're not the right ideas, but this is why I thought, this is why I thought what I thought, and then move on from that, right? It's okay to be wrong, essentially, is what I'm trying to get at with that whole idea. uh, so another element that I like about the book versus the movie, in the book you really get a sense that the storyline goes above and beyond the what the sorry, what are those timelines? And I will try to get this done as quickly as possible. I don't like yawning during my life. It's not polite, right? So one of the things that I do like about this book in particular is, um, and it's pretty typical with Michael Crichton books, right? That to me, it's a lot of it. A lot of his books can be described as basically science gone wrong, right? So you have scientific or academic individuals that are out there trying to, um, you know, trying to find the truth in some way, shape, or fashion. And of course, science being what it is, ends up, you know, going left when you're trying to go right, and totally screwing things up and making things a lot worse than what they are. So even though you have in both the book and in the movie, you have all these scientific individuals or professionals or whatever the case might be that are all in there trying to intervene and trying to help out and make sure that whatever the disaster is, it doesn't end up being worse. Well, unfortunately, it ends up being worse, right? And that's the thing with both the book and the movie. You're not really getting the impression that there's a sense of urgency here, kind of almost like what the officials, they kind of knew what was going to happen, that at some point somebody's going to go into that particular part of the building. So okay, we're going to lock them in once we see that they're there, but they have no choice but to do what we want them to do. Exactly. And that's again all just my personal opinion, guys. I'm not out here trying to convince you that this is the only way to regard Jurassic Park, right? So another element that I like about the book, and again, I'm talking solely about the book, was that although it was a relatively short book, I think it was like 350 pages, if I remember correctly. There was a lot said in that book, and I just think that's why kind of I'm disappointed sometimes in the movie versions of books. It feels that the movie versions are often done with the kind of the money grubbing mentality that comes with it. So just hold on a second, guys. I do have to cough a little bit. My throat is a bit dry here. All right, sorry about that, guys. Thank you for your patience. So yeah, I feel that the book really said a lot without saying too much at the same time, right? Because in both, of course, I get that in both the book and the movie, there's certain characters that are going to stay, that are always going to be there. Obviously, Dr. Grant, Dr. Sattler, and of course Hammond were there, and so were a few. Now, of course, some of the characters in the book were not there at all in the movie, and consequently, some of their thoughts, their ideas, their lives went to other characters. But what I liked about the book is that even though, like I said, there were a lot of characters, the characters that were there for a reason, right? You needed a scientist to explain, uh, not necessarily to Dr. Grant or Dr. Sandler, who of course have some degree of involvement in Sandler, but more to quote unquote to explain us, the average human being, right? I do admit that look, science isn't my forte. I enjoy it, but it's definitely not my strength, right? So to have an artist or somebody there to sort of interpret and to say, hey, look, this stuff, yeah, you kind of need to adjust or you need to do this differently. It definitely helps, right? Because even though I might be very knowledgeable, but because I don't have uh, formal training when it comes to science, the information I provide may not necessarily be accurate, right? So we kind of want to make sure that you guys are getting the lessons that you're supposed to be getting at the time that you are, right? Anyways, so part of what I enjoy about the book is the fact that how should I put this? Is the fact that the scientists um, hmm, they want you to know how things work but without necessarily telling you too much, right? Because this is you know, a research lab to some degree, and that is both happening in both the book and in the movie, where they do have a competitor that's essentially stealing their information. So they don't know who's on the island that's generally an employee trying to help him in his goals, um, or somebody that's just out to get him essentially. So that's a very difficult position for him. Now, of course, there is always going to be the individuals like myself that's like, you can trust me, don't worry, you don't have, I love you until, death do us part. But of course, we all know, well, the cutoff point for getting any money is second you turn 18 and you show that, hey, look, you know, I'm this, I'm that, you end up with no money, right? So, of course, for a lot of the relatives of Hammond, they kind of know not to sign certain contracts, or you do better be sure, you better be careful, or else you end up losing, okay? Um, so what else do I like about the book? I mean, I like the fact that I think the opening scene of Jurassic Park 2, I believe, is in Jurassic Park. And I think that's the ultimate thing that I really like about the book in general is that, of course, the movie ended up being a trilogy with spin offs, with remakes, and so forth. But with the original book, all those storylines are all in one book. Particularly, I think in Jurassic Park 2, the movie, you see that there's a little girl being surrounded. Of course, at this point, she's thinking, oh, they're cute little dogs or whatever is going through her mind. She's just thinking, oh, these are cute little animals. But in reality, no, these are dinosaurs that are surrounding her and going after her. That scene is not in Jurassic Park 1. But when you look at the book, one book came out and created a whole world, created a trilogy, created so many things it's not even funny, right? Yet again, like I said, it's just a one book, right? So that's what I do like about the book Jurassic Park is that Mike Crichton kept his ideas, his thoughts very concise, very to the point, very much. Look, I only have these 7 ideas. This is how they work. This is how they, I like it. This is how I want it to be, and that's it. It's not any more than that, right? Well, okay, I've already been going on for half an hour. I'm a bit surprised, but overall, I really didn't want to make this live very long, guys. Like I said, I just wanted to give you guys my basic thoughts and ideas about the book Jurassic Park. And that was pretty much it. The fact that overall I liked it. It was a good movie. It's definitely something that I enjoyed. But I'm not out here looking to be the next Lashes journey and talk and talk and talk about anything and everything. But I'm definitely glad, guys, to have you here with me and spending whatever amount of time that you want with me. I know that it's kind of late. It's a Friday night, so I know that a lot of you might be out there working or doing overtime or just like me about ready to go to bed. So I won't keep you guys any longer than necessary. Like I said, I really enjoyed your time and spending time with me. Of course, I definitely enjoyed the book Jurassic Park. 2 thumbs up. If I could get 10 thumbs up, I definitely would. But I definitely enjoyed that time with the book. It's a good mix of sci-fi and horror, in my opinion. The horror here, of course, being the dinosaurs themselves, and oh, please don't get eaten, because that's kind of the horror. A good horror movie or book will they will keep you interested in the book without preventing you from moving forward and going beyond the words that you see in the book, on the page, right? So if you're not able to do that with the book that you're reading, you picked the wrong book. You might need to move on to other authors. Okay. So that's pretty much it for me tonight, guys. Thank you so much for your time and your patience. I hope that you guys enjoyed this live, but do let me know if hey you could have gone on longer or maybe talk more about this or talk more about that, right? But I think you guys hello, amazing energy. I'm about to end the live, but it's okay. I'm so glad that you're here, whether it's for the last minute of my life or for the entire life. I'm absolutely grateful for any amount of time that you can pass with me. So, as I was saying, yeah, that's pretty much it for me tonight, guys. I'm so happy that you guys are here and spending time with me. I realized that you guys could have, spend your Sunday night, your Friday night, whatever amount of time with with anybody else. And I do realize that, yes, technically a lot of you might be watching me on the replay, but it doesn't change my feelings about any of you. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'm glad that Emma is an energy that you're spending your time on the way home from work with me. And God knows I know what it feels like to work and then rush home to get YouTube done. It's definitely not a fun experience. Let's just go here. But again, thank you guys for spending time with me. I definitely enjoyed the book more than I did the movie. Like I said, there's a few changes in the scenes. For example, the opening of Jurassic Park 2 is in the book, and that's what I was going to say before too. That's what's so wonderful about the book is that even though it is the book, it's considered okay. This is what happened. We can, as fans, add on to that and change things to whatever you know plot line or whatever that X particular individual or group has. Yes, hello, hello to everyone. So I'm gonna call it a night, guys. I have to admit, like I said, I am very tired, and it's just one of those days, one of those weekends where, as much as I love you guys, I'm glad that you guys are out here talking. I do have to step away and take care of myself, essentially. But I'm glad that you guys are here tonight. Whether it's in my live or watching on replay, I'm always grateful and always appreciative of whatever amount of support or help that you can give. So let me just get to the right area here so that we can call it a night the right way. So I hope you guys had a great Friday, and I hope that your Saturday, Sunday are just as fantastic, if not better than your Sunday. So have a great one, guys. Bye.